G'day guys, Cam here from the Fish Room again, and if you've not been to our channel, we're talking about aquariums and tropical fish and all other awesome stuff in this hobby. So if that sounds like you, please feel free to subscribe to our channel, comment on our videos, share our videos, like our videos and all that jazz. We're also available on Facebook, it's the Fish Room NZ, and we're also on Instagram with exactly the same name. Alright guys, let's get into the video. Alright, so obviously it's made by Omega 1. It is completely plastic. As you can see, there is no metal within the clip, which is handy, so there's going to be no rusting. It's fairly sturdy plastic, which is also really good, and the suction cup is fairly large. It's about, how do I explain it lengthwise? Probably the length of my finger, there you go. Yeah, about 2 knuckles long, 2 knuckles wide, so it's not massive, but it definitely is sturdy feeling. It feels really well constructed. Obviously it's blue color, but it feels well constructed. It doesn't feel like you're going to snap it when you open it and close it. It doesn't snap loud when you close it or anything like that, so it's quite a strong, rigid feeling. Nothing's bending. It doesn't feel fragile or anything like that, so that's a good start. Okay, so I'm going to chuck a single piece of seaweed in it. Obviously seaweed is quite thin and quite narrow. We'll see how well it snaps up and holds onto it. I can do it with one hand, which is handy, and as you can see, one single piece of seaweed holds very tightly on it, so that's also good. So it's nice and tight, it's nice and sturdy, and it's well constructed. So far so good. Let's throw it in, see how we go. Obviously there's a bit of attraction for the seaweed itself for all the fish. The wire are kind of brutish, nice and big and strong fish, and obviously they're pulling at the seaweed, which isn't overly strong. There's no movement in the clip, there's no movement in the suction cup. So far so good, they're holding it fairly well. The only downside I think I have to it is that the clip doesn't actually open very far, so if you wanted to put some vegetables in it, it might be a bit harder. You might have to cut them into slices or strips or something like that, but that's about the only downside that I found for it. I think it's designed to hold seaweed and nori and stuff like that, so if that's the case, it does it really well as opposed to holding vegetables. But I do think that's probably the only thing I would change if I had to do it, if I designed it or had it myself, would just be to increase the mouth size to get slightly bigger bits into it. Overall, I'm really happy with the product. Like I said, for 12 bucks, I think it's a fairly good buy. I've had my one for quite a while now. I don't use it overly often, mainly because I've had a lot of predator fish up until recently. But I will be using this more often. It saves basically jamming the seaweed in between the lids and letting it float around for a while. So overall I'm happy with it. I think I'll probably give it an 8 out of 10 construction wise. How strong it feels. It definitely does its job. It floats. There's no metal, so it can't rust. It's all plastic, so I'd definitely give it a pass mark. I think probably 8 from 10 would be what I'd go with it. So it says on the package that it floats, let it go, and it is floating just fine. So it does what it says it's meant to do. It floats. As I've said multiple times now, it's quite rigid. It's fairly strong. I'm quite happy with this product. We sell it for about 12 bucks, so it's fairly cost effective. Obviously, I believe it's designed for saltwater fish, and obviously I don't have saltwater fish. You know, these freshwater vegetarian fish seem to be hammering it pretty well. Hey guys, how you doing? I just wanted to take a quick minute to say 2 things, so please bear with me for a couple of minutes. First of all, I want to thank you all for being involved in the Fish Room and basically commenting on all the stuff that we're putting out at the moment and getting involved in the community. It's fantastic and I really appreciate it, so thank you very much on that part. Second of all, for those of you that have been on the website www.thefishroom.co.nz, when you make your purchase you'll see that there's a comments thing you can add at the checkout. Next time you buy something, please feel free to tell me how many aquariums you've got or what fish you're keeping, whether you've got planted tanks or non-planted tanks or cichlid tanks or whatever it might be, because for many that have already shopped with us, you'll know that I like to sort of throw in a freebie here or there. And if I've got more information, I'll be able to sort of tailor-make a freebie for you, as opposed to chucking you maybe some pleco food that are going to be absolutely useless for you because you don't keep plecos, for example, or plant food and you don't have plants, just as examples. So that's basically all that I wanted to say to you. Thank you very much for being involved in the fish room, and next time you're jumping on board and buying something from us, please feel free to give us a bit of information on what it is that you keep. All the notes will get basically put on your customer profile, so if you repeat purchase with us as well, I'll know for next time that this is what you've got and stuff like that. So, you know, just make my life easier if I'm chucking in a few freebies for everybody. Alright guys, thank you very much. Have a good one, happy fish keeping, and catch you later.